Hi, welcome to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be showing you my summer wedding guest makeup that I've been doing. I already had one wedding and then I do have two more to go to before the summer's over. So this is the makeup look that I will be probably doing for all three of them, and it's kind of like my go-to for any like special event that I have in the summer. So let's get into it. Starting out with primer, I'm going in with this Laura Mercier Pure Canvas primer. It's the hydrating one. That is what it looks like. I always do like to wear primer when I'm going to weddings because I want my makeup to last all night. Plus these ones are all outside, so I just feel like I need an extra something on my face to make sure that my makeup stays on and it can last through the heat. And I have dry skin, so anything with extra hydration is always good for me too. Moving on to base makeup for my foundation today. It's not really foundation, but I'm using it for foundation. I'm going in with the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter, and this will be my foundation. The reason I'm using this is because I like the finish of it so much. It doesn't have the most intense coverage, but it does have coverage and it is buildable. So after I put this layer on, if I feel like I need more, I can always add another layer to make it a little bit more flawless and give me more coverage. To blend this out today, I'm going to use this IT Cosmetics foundation brush, and I'm just going to go in and start blending that out. This is what we're looking like after just one layer of the e.l.f. Halo Glow. I feel like for today, this is fine. I'm not going to add any more. I don't feel like I need it. If my skin was breaking out or I had a lot of redness or something, I probably would add an extra layer. But for today and my skin today, I feel like it works fine. So this is where I'm going to stop. Now I'm going to go in with my cream bronzer. And the one I'm using today is going to be the Rare Beauty Bright Side bronzing stick. Bright Side is the shade. And I'm going to use this as my contour and my bronzer. So I just take that, place it around my face where I normally would. So still one of my all-time favorite cream bronzers. It's so creamy and so blendable. It's amazing. To blend this out, I'm taking the e.l.f. Duo Complexion brush and I'm using this bigger side here and starting out by blending out the contour or the bronzer on my cheeks. I'm trying to keep it as isolated to the areas that I put it as possible because those are the areas that I want to, I guess, look the most contoured. So I try to keep it concentrated there. My forehead, I do try to work it into my hairline though, just so that it blends and there's no like lines, so. But watch how just easy this blends into your skin. It's has such a good finish to it. Honestly, it's like, I don't know why I don't use it more, to be honest. I just have so many different cream bronzers, but this is really one of my top favorites. And then I'll take whatever's left over on the brush and just kind of like run that on my jawline. Then maybe a little bit down my neck. Okay, I'm going to take the big side still and blend out what I put on my eyes. I do always bring this out towards my temple though, just to make my eyes in this area look more lifted. And then once that's blended, I'm going to take the small side and use this to blend out my nose contour. And I always bring it up to the inner corner of my eye every single time so that this whole area blends together and there's no like hard lines or anything. It just looks like one flawless area. Next up, I'm going in with blush. So I'm kind of doing my makeup in a weird order. I'm doing bronzer and blush before I do my concealer. But the blush I'm using today is this one from Rare Beauty. It's this really peachy pink blush. It's so pretty. It's one of my favorite Rare Beauty blushes. That is what it looks like. Sometimes it can look kind of dramatic, but I want something like really bright and fun on my cheeks because it is summer, the weather is warm, and that's just kind of like the vibe I'm going for. So I always put it on the back of my hand, and then I'm going to take my blush brush and dip into that product and just lightly start applying that all over my cheeks. And I am going to bring it up under my under eyes. This is going to help with color correction, and then when I put the concealer on over it, there's not going to be like a harsh line between the concealer and the blush. It'll all just kind of blend together, and the concealer will have that same pink undertone as the blush because it will be covering it up. Then I always like to put some on my nose too. Blush is finished. It looks kind of crazy right now, but it won't after I add the concealer. You just kind of have to trust the process. The concealer that I'm going in with is the Makeup by Mario Surreal Awakening Skin Concealer. I'm sorry, the Surreal Skin Awakening Concealer has so many words in it. But I'm just going to take this and apply the smallest amount around my face, starting with my under eyes. I'm not using too much under there. A little bit of this does really go a long way, so you don't need much. And my nose and some around my T-zone. Taking my usual concealer brush, and I'm just going to start blending that out very softly. I feel like I used a little bit too much on my nose. Now for the under eyes, I'm just blending that out like normal over top of the blush. After concealer, I do like to set my face just a little bit, so I'm going to take this translucent Milk Makeup Setting Powder on this little puff, and I'm going to lightly set my face where I put the concealer, but I don't use too much powder because my skin does not love setting powder. And my last step for complexion is going to be highlighter. I'm going in with this Fenty Beauty highlighter. This is the Duo highlighter in the Kilowatt shades. There's two of them. I'm going to use the more shimmery one. It's kind of just like a light pink. And I'm applying that right here on the top of my cheekbones. Then on my nose. And then the top of my brow bone. For eyeshadow today, I'm going to be adding a little bit of color. I'm going to be doing like a very soft pink eyeshadow look. Nothing too dramatic, but I do like to add a little something. I feel like pink is pretty for the summertime. So I'm going in with this Ace Beauté palette in the shade, or in the Scarlet Dusk palette. I'm going to start by taking this shade right here, Lotus. It's like a purplish pink color. It's this one. And I'm just going to lightly apply that all over my eyelids. And I don't go in super heavy-handed with this because I don't want it to be like a bright in-your-face pink eyeshadow look. I want it to be very subtle. Just kind of like a little pop of color. I probably should have done this first, but I didn't. I am going to take a little bit more of the Rare Beauty contour or bronzer stick, and I'm going to take that e.l.f. brush using the small side, and I'm going to take this and put it on like the upper part of my eyes. I kept the pink eyeshadow or purple eyeshadow, whatever color, confined pretty much to the eyelid, so I'm just blending this in with that, but I'm bringing it on the upper part of my eyes. But just a little bit, very soft, just to kind of bring everything together. To add a little bit of depth to the outer portion of my eyes, I am going to take this deeper, like burgundy purplish color here in the shade Bahama, this one right here, and I'm going to add that just to the outer part of my eye, but I'm doing it very softly. Again, I don't want this to be like a dramatic pinkish purple smoky eye. I just want it to be very subtle, so lightly adding some of that in. Now that that's on, I'm going to take this fluffier brush and just start blending in all the eyeshadow together, just so that it all flows really smoothly. I was going to put some shimmer on my eyelids, but I'm kind of liking the vibe of the all matte, so I think I'm actually going to skip that today. But one last step is I'm going to add black eyeshadow as eyeliner, but it's going to be more of like a smudged out look. So I'm taking my Makeup by Mario Master Mattes palette, and I'm going in with the black, and I'm taking this small angled brush, and I'm going to start by creating like a wing on the outer portion of my eye. And I'm going to bring it in about halfway before I start to like blend it out. Now I'm taking this bigger angled brush, and I'm just going to start to kind of smudge all of that eyeshadow out so that it makes it like blurry. And then I kind of mess up the wing with my finger a little bit. And now I'll go back in with that same fluffy brush and just run that along my eyelids too, where I put the black eyeshadow. Next, we have eyebrows. I am just going to lightly fill those in first. I'm taking the e.l.f. Instant Brow Lift Pencil in the dark brown shade, and I'm just filling in the bare spots. And then I take this spoolie and I do blend that out. Now I'm going to go in with brow gel using the NYX The Brow Glue. I'm actually adding one more thing to the eye look. I'm going to add a little bit of shimmer to the inner corner. So I'm taking the same highlighter that I used earlier, going in with this pink one over here that's more shimmery, and this small brush, and just gonna add some highlight to my inner corner. Last up, we have lips, and I'm using probably my favorite lip combo of all time. I'm going in with the NYX lip pencil in the shade Natural, and then for lipstick I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk lipstick. So these are kind of more of like nude pink colors, which I feel like tie in with the whole eyeshadow look. So taking my lip liner first, I'm just going to outline my lips. And then finally, I am going to add some setting spray just because, like I said, I'm going to be outside for all of these weddings, so I need to make sure my makeup lasts as long as possible. So I'm using the Milani Make It Last setting spray. Okay, and that completes my summer wedding guest makeup look. I did wear this look already for one wedding, and then I have 2 more coming up before the summer ends. The last one that I did have shimmer on my eyes, but today I feel like it looks better matte, and so I'm just going with that. Obviously, you can change things up a little bit as you need. You can use different color eyeshadow, like whatever matches your outfit or your vibe that you're going for that day. This is just what I like because I wanted to add a little bit of pop of color so it's not so boring, but you know, you can always change it. But I do find that this makeup does wear really well, especially when I'm outside and in the heat. As long as I add primer and a good setting spray, I typically don't have any issues with it. So as long as I follow all my steps, I'm usually good to go, and that's why I have settled on this makeup look for all of my weddings this summer. But I really hope that you enjoyed. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye!